It's week 2 of the 2024 season. And up next is Xavier Howard, who got himself a pick last week and a boatload of tackles. It's the Dolphins and the Barons, next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Miami Dolphins and the Brooklyn Barons. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Brooklyn ball club. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they can be well set up for the rest of the year.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They're led out by a former number 2 overall pick in the draft from BYU. It's Zach Wilson.
And he comes off a tough opening matchup. Threw way too many interceptions in that game. Definitely not the way you want to kick off a new season. So he said to himself, I've got to throw that game out. I'm going to get a fresh start right here in week 2.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
Out to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Chris Wormley able to take him down. It's a loss of 3.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
After the sack, you can understand him maybe being a little bit nervous back there, a little skittish. He looked awfully decisive when he took off and ran.
Very decisive and picked up that first down in the process. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 47. From the shotgun, Wilson. He finds his man complete. That's Wilson. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
They'll run for the first time with Breece Hall. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Now Wilson. He'll air this one out deep for Davis. And this is caught inside the 5. And he's going to get this all the way down to the 2 before he's wrestled out. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. They'll run with Hall. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Now it's Wilson. And it's caught. Touchdown. Elijah Moore. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Barons are on the board first here this afternoon. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
And they can talk all they want about putting the loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed, and this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. Whatever they said appears to have worked. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They're sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And his throw's going to be incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Tua. They'll set up the screen here to Akers. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's the first carry of the game for Cam Akers. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Well, we're going to get a timeout as they deal with an injured player, and it's Tyreek Hill who is the man that's in some discomfort right now. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. On 1st down, they'll stay with Akers on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Here's a run with Akers on 2nd down. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. It's taken to the 26. Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7, though, on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood. Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Throwing is Wilson. His throw incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. They bring their punter out there now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return, and it'll be Dolphin football. So Miami coming out for their second drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
A good pickup there at 22.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
They'll run on first down with Akers. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Tua sets up to pass it. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Tua going to throw. That's into the hands of Akers, complete. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. From the 25 on 2nd down, Tua. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
The tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
They'll run out of the gun with Akers. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Going right back to Akers. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Looking to pass. Tua. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And the Dolphins are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence. And that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Akers is not going to get in. In fact, he'll lose a couple of yards back to the 3. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
3 tight ends up front here, 3rd and goal. Akers again. And he's going the wrong way again. He'll lose yardage here back to the 5. They lost 2, and it brings up 4.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw it for a loss.
On now the Miami field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick here is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Now Hall to start the drive. Well, he gave one defender the slip, but others waiting in the wings and dropping him behind the line. On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Wilson. Forced out to his left. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the 1st. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And they'll send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. He starts with a give to Akers. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Second down, they'll go with Akers again. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Tua. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll go with Akers here up the middle. And to the 42-yard line here. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short. So it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing. Because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
3rd catch of this 1st half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a give. Akers running left. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. This offense on 3rd down today, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. Here it's 3rd and 3. That'll be caught by Eric Ezukama. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. On first down, Tagovailoa. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And he'll be brought down at the 27. From the 27, Tua. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. Tua setting up shop to throw again. And Ingram hauls it in. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Tua. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Here's Wilson. Well, this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Well, that's what you get, apparently, when you try to take on a Pro Bowl cornerback. And what a play there to make the interception and also bring it back for 6.
And he is so good that we've seen teams absolutely stay away from throwing the ball at him. Here, he's just reading the quarterback's eyes the entire way, makes a great play on the football, and turns it into 6.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 10-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Taken in at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Hall again on 2nd down. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll run with Hall. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out and give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it and pick up first downs.
Now this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. 38-yard line, 2nd and 9. Here's Wilson to throw. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. On 3rd down, here's Hall. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
And on now is the punter as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. The offense trots back out, ready for this next drive, and there's the running back, Cam Akers. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. They'll run a draw now with Akers. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Taken down at the 41.
On 2nd and 9. Wilson. And this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
Intercepted by the Dolphins.
So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
Miami set to take over. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing.
Touchdown, Dolphins! Evan Ingram, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Now the try here for the point after. It's good to make it 17-7. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter. But you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
Paul on a give up the middle. And some room to maneuver. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On first down, right back to Hall. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
At his 48-yard line, 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
From just shy of midfield, Wilson. They will find Davis. That's complete. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
That's a gain of
3rd and 2. Now Wilson. Open man is Uzama. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line.
Out of bounds at the 35-yard
Again, Wilson.
A 7-yard pickup.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Here's Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 21. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. To throw again is Wilson. Open man here is Conklin. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
He's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play, because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Wilson. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
And when a team advances as far as they did, got over the 50-yard line, don't you think that drive deserved a better ending? I think he needs to get with his coaches on the sidelines, make some immediate adjustments, and that's what you do. You don't wait. You do it from series to series, because drives like that end with a turnover, that's multiple times they picked him off already in this opening half.
The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. To throw again on second down. Tua. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up third down. Out of the gun on third down, here's Tua. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Here's J.K. Scott now, as he's on to punt for Miami. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. This offense back to work now late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Wilson. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. Now Wilson. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Josh Allen, 3 touchdown passes as his guys moved to 2-0 on the young season. From there, we'll make the trip down to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And it's the visiting Minnesota Vikings who are out in front. The Vikes looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Jameis Winston has thrown a touchdown pass. With that, let's take a look at the next-gen stats for Miami in that first half. And there were a few factors as to why they built this good-size advantage, but the rushing numbers were not all that amazing. We'll see if they can pick it up in the second half. Meanwhile, for our home team, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They defeated the Patriots last week, now looking to make it 2 in a row here as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Open man right side is Ingram. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Throwing again on second down. Tua. He targets Ingram for another grab. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. That's taken on the 25. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Ball again on second down. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So third and long.
No gain on the play. It's third down.
Now Wilson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. So they bring out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Still 9 yards to go on second down from the 27. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Straight ahead is Hall. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Hall again on second down. And he'll get this down close to a first down at about the Dolphins' 41. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Wilson. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And they will not cut into that 10-point lead. Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
2 sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. Got a man, complete to Cedric Wilson. Here's a run with Akers on 2nd down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. On 3rd down, here's a run by Akers. And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. 45 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe the Dolphin got going a little early. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
They'll go again here with Akers. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On 1st down, Tagovailoa. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he's going to get this down near the 25. From the 25, here's 2nd and 6. Looking to pass. Tua. Oh, looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
Ball again on 2nd down. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. They bring their punter out there now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 82 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Yeah, and this defense has had its share of problems getting guys to the ground, and here's another example. They never should have allowed this play to gain as many yards as it did, but poor tackling early in the play led to big yardage after the fact.
Tua now on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. A give up the middle to Akers. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. Give him 12 yards there. The Dolphins have a first down. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Tua's throw here taken in by Ingram. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
Tua now on first down. Open man is Waddle, complete. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, here's a give to Akers. And he'll take this one down near the 15. On 2nd and 9, Tua. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the headlinesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. This is caught, and he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Andrew Beck, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. Yeah, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Breaks the tackle, now an alley. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 48-yard line. Escaping the pressure right. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line.
Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
It reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
Following the fumble recovery, here's Tua. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Bryce Hall.
And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. This defense figured out something in the locker room. That's 2 third-quarter picks now.
And you just wonder, did he get too comfortable in the locker room himself? His team has the lead. Take care of the football. He's putting them in jeopardy right now.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now just east of Manhattan in Brooklyn, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the 4th. Flush to his right, and he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt.
It's a gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 5.
There's Wilson to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
Wilson's pass intended for Elijah Moore. Incomplete. It's 4th down.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And he's got a man, Corey Davis.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. He juked him. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs.
On the draw, it's Hall.
The UCLA product, Kenny Young, had the tackle. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Throwing is Wilson.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches.
A handoff for Hall.
And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the 1st. 1 yard is the gain. And that enables him to also pick up the 1st.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Now it's Wilson. Over the middle, complete. It's Wilson. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Holding offense.
A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal. Here's Wilson. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed.
This likely a must-have. 3rd and goal.
To throw is Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. There he goes left side. The 30. 10. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown.
Well, this defense just continuing to do their thing, and now they add on to that lead with another pick 6.
And how about the way they've played this entire game? Not only they put their stamp on it, but every time they try and mount an offensive challenge, they find a way to thwart it. And multiple pick 6s, oh yeah, they'll enjoy watching this tape after the game.
The extra point up and good. And the lead is now 24.
Dolphins 31.
A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Now Wilson. And he's going to go down again. Emmanuel Ogbah that time, able to drop him for a loss.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Wilson. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. And my goodness, another interception.
And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Second down, they'll go with Akers again.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead.
So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense.
And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson.
They'll set up the screen for Hall.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
A gain of 2 makes it 3rd down and 10.
On 3rd down, Wilson. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
Fourth down, here's Wilson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 31-yard line.
Going right back to Akers.
And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
A gain of 4.
They'll try and run for this with Akers.
So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
They'll run on 1st down with Akers.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
Taken down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. At the 24-yard line.
They'll go with Akers here up the middle.
And he'll get a couple here down to the 22. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. They're going to run the jet sweep on 3rd down.
And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. And his kick is indeed good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Now Wilson. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away.
Fair catch made at the 43.
Miami's offense set and ready to go. Well, they don't need to score here, that's for sure. They could just kneel it. They've got the huge lead late 4th quarter, but we'll see how they're feeling, Charles.
Yeah, we all know people out there who like to use every second of the clock, no matter what the score. And we know they don't need the points. They've scored in abundance already. Let's find out how they want to finish this ball game.
So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the 1st quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that, and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the 1st quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for Miami, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try again next week at home against New England.